Hey everybody, this is Tyler Dockery, and today I am somewhere different. I'm over here in my home office, which you can see is a lot bigger than sitting at a kitchen table. I've got to do something behind me here because the way that this camera is set up, there's a much farther distance from me and there's a much larger distance behind me. Also, instead of having my microphone just off camera, it's up here now. So, definitely need to get a green screen or something back here and set this all up to rights. I'm going to move some of these screens around because they're really starting to bug me. But in here today, I'm talking about just 3 or 4 basic questions. Avoiding filler words like and when I talk, and trying to be more mindful of that and using longer pauses if I need to say those words, and using that to make the listener hang on what it is that I have to say. Also, I want to talk about the review of the previous 3 days. Many people who do these challenges don't actually look at the content that they make. It's really just for them to get used to talking to the camera and finding themselves in a really good spot for that. I would like to use this as something that is something I can grow on. Going back and looking over the materials, I can see that I'm getting better used to it, but I'm still finding myself in an awkward position. Often based on the time that I record these, I find that at the end of the day my voice is starting to wear out. And so with being a little bit more room in here, a little bit more area in here, I'll have to check the sound and make sure that it's being normalized properly. Again, I'm trying to get better at looking to the camera while I'm talking. That will be something that will be harder, especially as I am moving back and forth between working with computer software and talking to the camera and making sure that students can feel that level of connection. I've been getting some really nice positive reviews, so thank you very much. Again, if you like what you see or you see something that needs help, go ahead and give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Either way is usable. The way that YouTube puts its materials together, even if you're getting a thumbs down and someone tells you why, that is seen as a positive thing. So if you would like to have this, there'll be information in the doobly-doo below about how to get your own 30-day challenge on topics of which to talk about. So I'm saying again, but think about this as a way of seeing what other people have done, just as I've seen what other people have done, and save yourself literally hundreds of dollars. And I think that's positive. So today we're going to talk about 2 things. What's a typical day like for me, and then what is a big day or a special day like? Typically during the week on a Tuesday or a Thursday, my typical day starts at 5:45 a.m. or I might sleep in until 6. I catch a quick shower. I let the dogs out. I have 2 dogs and 2 cats. Let the dogs out to use the bathroom, put together coffee and breakfast for my family. And then about 6:50 or so, I drive my child to school, and that puts me in a spot where I'm sitting in car line ready to drop them off. Drop my child off sometime between 7:30 and 7:35, depending on how long it takes the car line to go, and then I shoot down the road for the amount of time that it takes for me to get to the college. Usually that puts me landing at the school at about 8:15 or 8:20 in the morning. I can go and open the classroom for students who like to arrive early if I have a 9 a.m. class. If I have a 7 a.m. class, then unfortunately I'm doing a fair amount of speeding and trying to work with my wife on dropping the child off in the morning on those days. Once my classroom is opened, I go up to my office, check my emails. I usually get somewhere in the area of 165 to 200 emails a day. So going through that and finding out how many are really important, how many I have to answer right away, is an essential task. Then typically I teach 2 classes back to back, ending sometime between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. I grab a quick working lunch and take office hours in my office until about 3 o'clock, and then I head over to the Teaching and Learning Center, and I help students with their work from either 3, 4, or 5 p.m. depending on what time I'm needed, until 7 o'clock, and then I shut the place down. I'm the last person to leave. I lock up and make sure that security is aware, and then I travel home. I get home about 8:30 p.m. at night. So typically I'm leaving my house about 6:50, 6:45 in the morning, and I'm getting home about 8:30 at night. In that time period, my daughters are usually getting ready for bed, so I might get about 5 to 15 minutes to ask them about their day and what goes on, and some time to talk with my wife. And then typically I have freelance work that I work on from 9 p.m. until about 2 o'clock in the morning, and then I get some sleep from anytime after probably 1:30 to 5:45, and I sleep about 4 to 4.5 hours a day, and that's kind of how I get myself together and why I look like this while I'm 50. So it's an interesting prospect. On some days, if it is not a Tuesday or a Thursday, if I have a lesser amount of work to do, I typically go to the gym on multiple days out of the week, usually 3 or 4 days of the week, and I arrive at the gym about 9 or 9:30 or 9:45, and I stay until about 1 o'clock in the morning. Come back, and that's kind of how I spend my evening hours if I don't have freelance work to do. So that's a lot of what goes on for me. There's a lot of grading of projects that goes on, dealing with emails, calling and working with students, dealing with video meetings for a population that doesn't prefer to come onto campus. For a very big day, I will try to, if I don't have to go into the office, I may go right back to bed after getting up and getting everything rolling in the morning. So I may get up at 5:45 and go back and crash from 7 until maybe 8:30 if I get to be luxurious, or from 7 to 8, and enjoy that time. On particularly big days, I deal a lot with my family and having a lot of time with them, traveling around and taking them from location to location, and it's a really good opportunity. In the evening on big days, I try to spend time with my family. It's been really important over the years that we sit down together at a solid central time, all of us together eating a meal together. It's a good chance for us to ask everybody how their day or how their week has been. It's a good opportunity for us to laugh and joke, and it's a really good opportunity just to kind of keep those connections strong. There have been lots of times in the past when marriage has been rocky, or the kids and I have not seen eye to eye. But being able to have everybody sit down, even if we're grumpy or rude or mad or angry, the State of the Union is good. And it's easier to keep it that way. When things are done, typically if you cook, you don't clean, and if you clean, you don't cook. So we have different methods of putting items together. When we have a big meal, we enjoy everyone doing their part and every person cooking a piece of it, or going out and not having to worry about who's doing the rolls, what are we going to do about dishes, how can we take that back. But going out to eat is very tough, and I'm a state employee, my wife works for the city. As a teacher, there's not really a lot of money out there, so there's a lot of different things that kind of come into play over these items. As I am thinking about this and as I'm looking into the future, I do want to spend some time being more aware of how I talk, how I am perceived, and how this gets across. So as we move into tomorrow's, I'll probably try to put together some materials to help other people get to feel comfortable in front of the camera. I'll show you what's worked for me in the past, and maybe something like that will work for you. So thank you very much. Again, please consider liking or subscribing. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, but most importantly, please tell me why. Any advice that you can give me as to how to proceed is very, very helpful. Again, in the doobly-doo below, we'll have some information from Raj Solo, another person who helped me to get here, as well as links to this 30-day challenge material. Go ahead and save yourself some money. This stuff is not rocket science. There's literally no special sauce. What I've got, I want to give to you. So, thank you very much. Please have a great day, and I know that while this is not easy, I appreciate you coming along for the ride. Thank you very much.